Hey everyone, John again. Play a little Immaculate Grid. Played 3 different games yesterday. Try and get some videos out. Trying to make content to be viewed by all the dozens of you who I love all dearly. Appreciate the Sporkle request from Eddie. That was a fun one. I think I got 66 out of 70 on that, and I think I did pretty good on both grids yesterday, if I recall correctly. Played 278 and then went back and played grid number 27. So it's a weekend. I might churn out another one today. We'll see. See how my schedule works out. I'm gonna start sharing and playing. Let's just go ahead and do it. Share the screen. So we've got the clock, and I'm just gonna do this. Hit enter and play, and we're gonna go as fast as we can. All right, Alex Rodriguez. All right, Willie Mays certainly hit a bunch of home runs. And then 40 home runs designated hitter, Nelson Cruz. Seems like a pretty obvious one. All right, rookie of the year. How about Rafael Furcal? All right, rookie of the year is a center fielder. Mike Trout will work for that. And then designated hitter. So anyone who's done both, I have to think about that. All right, let's go over here. Jason Bartlett. It'll work. Upton DJ type will work. And then let's say Pat Burrell did a little DHing. Great. And then rookie of the year DH. There's got to be one. Yep, Mike Piazza. Minute 10. I don't lose. It's just I try to get under a minute. So 110 was the time. 110 was the rarity score. With I guess there's just so many options here. So for this one, not as many options, but I've got some I'll go with. It'll be interesting to see, like, did Henry Aaron play a game at shortstop? I know he played like second base a little bit, but I don't think shortstop. Yeah, no surprise on A-Rod and Willie Mays being pretty high. I would say Griffey is probably higher. Obviously, Trout also works here. DH, I just came up with Piazza because I know he DH towards the end of his career. He was probably also a DH in a lot of interleague play with the Mets. Um, if you catch 2 games and you've got a day game after a night game and you have the DH available, why not take it? So like when the Mets were on the road against an American League team, I'm sure he did a fair amount of that. Pat Burrell, I just remember coming over, DHing with the Rays and being a tremendous disappointment. But of course, any Rays player, I have a hard time. Like, I got to believe like Wade Boggs is going to work. I'm sure he DH'd at some point. Be very surprising if he never DH'd ever in his career. Um, and I mean that'll be true of a lot of folks. So I'll take a few more risks here on the rarity score. Um, let's do the thing where we stop the clock first of all, and then stop share, reshare. Everyone gets to see my little office here. This was yesterday's timed grid, so the scores are a bit higher, and we're going to do rarity on this one. Actually, it was grid number 27. That's all right. Also, I performed it yesterday, but it was not yesterday's grid. Yesterday's grid was 278. All right. So, I mean, I think the key here is to try to come up with for these position ones, let's try to think of people who you wouldn't think of in those positions. Um, like a good example would be like Jim, and this is going to work here, but Jimmy Fox came up as a catcher. So he would be a good one to play for a catcher. He'd be a less good one to play for first base. So there's plenty of options. Um, yeah, I forgot how Furcal did, but Ozzie Guillen he would also work here. Um, Pat Listash will work. But again, it's just one game. So you can have some fun with that. Um, I mean, here's an example I'll use. Let's see how Ryan Braun does for DH and Rookie of the Year. Actually, I think he's going to be too good. I think people are going to be onto that because he won the '07 Rookie of the Year, and then he was a DH towards the end, especially in 2020 when there was no pitchers hitting. But let's try Dick Allen actually, because I think he was a DH towards the latter part of his career, and he won the '64 Rookie of the Year. So that's a much better. I think that's a lot better than Braun would have been. All right, and now thinking of rookies of the year who played center field. Um, like this is an interesting one where it's like Raul Mondesi was a right fielder and a very good one. Did he play like a game maybe in center field? Andre Dawson, I think will work. He'll also work here. Um, see, I know the Dodgers dominate. That's where my mind went. Is the Dodgers dominated the rookies of the year in the '90s, starting with Eric Karros '92, and then you get Piazza, Mondesi, Hideo Nomo, and then who isn't going to work for either of those, and then uh who was it? Hollinsworth in '96. That's kind of the oddball. Um, see, '97 Rookie of the Year is Scott Rowland. I don't think he ever played either of those positions. '98 in the National League, it's Kerry Wood. '99 would be Scott Williamson. These are pitchers. Furcal I used already. I don't know that Pujols moved around a lot in his early years, but I don't think he ever made it to either shortstop or center field. That'd be a little bit of a stretch for him. '02 is Jason Jennings. '03 is Dontrelle Willis over Scott Podsednik. Let's see. I want to say Bobby Crosby wins a Rookie of the Year in there. I think Khalil Green wins Rookie of the Year in there. So those are a couple options. Ooh, how about Milwaukee Brewer Pat Listash? I wonder how popular that's going to be. He was a shortstop. What I'm struggling with is I'm trying to come up with people who played like a little bit of shortstop or might have been just moved over there. But honestly, Jeter's going to dominate this category. We'll see how Listash does. He was the first Rookie of the Year in Milwaukee Brewers history. So let's try him out. He takes 2%. Okay. Um, over here, what do we think of Rico Petroselli? He takes 2%. I don't know that I mean, that's kind of the example where it's like, wait, did, um, Henry Aaron sneak a game in there? As a prank, did Billy Martin put Reggie Jackson at shortstop? Reggie Jackson actually, hold on. Reggie Jackson did play center field like one season in there. And he was not known as a great fielder. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, he goes 0.3. I know because I remember just I think it was on X, Twitter at the time, seeing a baseball card where you can clearly it was like an airbrush thing. So you've got the pitcher on his new team, but in the background you can clearly see the Oakland A's, and you can clearly see the center fielder, and I mean, you can see the center fielder is wearing green, but he looks a bit like Jackson, just in terms of being left-handed, and you can maybe make out his number 9 out there. And then you look, it's like, no kidding. He did play center field for the majority of at least a season in there. So let's see. Jackson also would have worked here. Let's try out, how do we feel about Stormin Gorman Thomas? He goes 0.2. It's pretty good. He also would have worked here, but and then we need any Rookie of the Year who has played at least a game at in center field. And I walked through all the American League rookie or National League rookies of the year. I did not go through the American League. Yeah, Nomar also would have worked up here. I'm also trying to think of some lesser known shortstops. Um, down here, I mean, Fred McGriff, Jose Canseco, I think were early, very frequent DHs. It would very much surprise me if Wade Boggs had never played DH. I don't know if any of those are going to work though. I'm trying to think who the early center fielders and shortstops were for the. I think Kevin Stocker was the first one. Let's see how that goes. Of course, he was a frequent shortstop, but so he goes 3%. So this is not going to be like an all-time great grid, but we've got some good ones down here. And then let's see, center field, rookie of the year. I'm still deciding on center field. Rocco Baldelli comes to mind. I think Randy Wynn mostly played right field. Of course, all these guys probably played just a little bit of DH. Be kind of interesting to see if Zobrist was ever cycled out there at some point. Um, ooh, how about Quentin McCracken? He goes 2%. Try any. Fred Lynn will work. Ichiro played a little center field. He's mainly a right fielder, but he played a little center field. Um, who else? Who else? He's DH. I might have knocked it, knocked as good as I was going to get it with. How about I think Carl Everett was doing some DHing. Not Carl. Shoot. I messed up. I meant Cliff Floyd. I messed up. I meant Cliff Floyd. I was thinking of Cliff Floyd. Similar left-handed power hitters. So many options. How did I do that? I knew Cliff Floyd didn't. I even could have seen it because I can't believe I messed that up. Now I have to play another one. Let's see. Rookie of the year for center field, by the way. Who would have been a good one there? I'm still thinking of who would have been a solid pick. I think I would have taken a gamble on Frank Robinson. Would I have been right? This would have been, and I'm going to use Robinson as a yes, I would have been right. Early days, he played a little bit of center field there. He also would have worked for DH, and I knew he was rookie there. So that's who I should have. I should have also maybe tried him there. Who knows? Yeah. So I should have stopped myself. I was writing it out, and I saw 2006. Carl Everett was a like kind of platoon. Excuse me. Cliff Floyd was a part-time sort of kind of platoon DH on that '08 Rays team. That's where I was kind of thinking he was like the elder statesman on a team full of younger players. Um, but yeah, I mean, both these guys were in the National League when I first started following the Brewers. They both had decent power. I should say when the Brewers moved to the National League, they both had decent power. Um, you didn't want to face these guys. They were a problem when you faced them in their lab. So I guess I just fused them together. But I can't believe I did that. All right. Well, I've got to play another one now because I can't end on that note. But thanks a lot for playing. And we'll be back at tomorrow. Did I tie my score? I guess I tied my score. I had 110 on both of them because I got the +100 from fusing Cliff Lowe and Carl Everett. All right. Well, episode's brought to you by my book. I promise I'm way smarter in there. You can check that out. The link is in the description below. All right. Have a good weekend. Peace.